Police say a Northwest ISD 7th grade teacher arrested last week for having an improper relationship with a student.
It's happened again here in the Bay Area.
A local teacher caught reportedly having a sexual relationship with a student.
Good evening. A high school English teacher is charged tonight with 5 felony counts of having sex with students.
Arlington police say the sex parties were happening off campus at the teacher's house.
News from New Haven tonight. The New Haven School District confirming to News 8 that one of their teachers has been arrested on sex assault charges for allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with one of her students.
She's gone from the classroom to the courtroom. A Spring High School teacher accused of having sex with a student makes her first court appearance.
A Eudora teacher is arrested for alleged sex crimes with a minor, but investigators say the crimes happened in Wichita and started 2 years ago. Peggy Bright is live in Eudora. Peggy?
Well, our 32-year-old Kurt Brundage only began teaching here in the fall. He taught English and mostly to seniors. It was back in Wichita at East High where he was teaching when the crimes allegedly occurred. Investigators say Brundage became involved in an inappropriate relationship back in January of 2010. The girl, they say, was 15 at that time, but it's still unknown yet if she was one of his students. The girl's mother reported the relationship to Wichita police late last month, and Brundage was arrested in Wichita Friday night.
I don't blame the school system for what I did. I blame me. It was my choice. I made that choice, and it was no one's fault but mine. A lot of what I say can be misconstrued into somebody saying that I'm blaming this or blaming that for what I did. So at all times, what I did was my choice, and I'm the only one at fault. I'm the only one to blame, period. I learned in prison that it was very easy for me to consider the illogical logical. Therapy in prison absolutely changed my life. In prison was where I learned the concept of the cognitive distortion, where a person in their own mind can make the irrational seem completely rational. Teachers are having relationships with students at an alarming rate. And the scary part is a majority of those are never reported. A majority of these relationships are never known about. It is simply something that is either hidden or forgotten or swept under the rug so that reputations don't get ruined, so that schools don't get sued. I am trying to come out, stand in front of educators and say, I went through this. And here is why this actually happens. School systems right now are trying to address the wrong problem. Whenever you see a teacher like me or just your latest run-of-the-mill another relationship with another student come on, one of the gut reaction statements is something about hiring practices. Why can't we hire teachers? Why can't we have better background checks? My contention is that when teachers are hired, they're not being hired for the expressed goal of having a relationship with an underage student or even an 18-year-old student. That is not their goal. It becomes an overtime sense of a cognitive distortion that makes the unreasonable seem reasonable. A vast majority of the teachers who have relationships with students aren't attracted to students because they're students or because they're underage. It's because the teachers lose the perspective of them being students and instead view them as adults, view them as peers. Read this and add a perspective to an argument that nobody ever wants to talk about. I wrote this book for 2 reasons. I wrote this book to make it real, to show what a real teacher goes through when this happens. And I wrote this book to address the real problem, so that the real problem can have a real solution.